Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Good morning, Americans. It's Monday.
Oh, that hurt.
Happiest day of the week. What do you mean hurt? It's the full week of being here and enjoying all of our company together. Won't that be nice? I can tell you're psyched. Yeah, Keith is ready to go.
Psyched.
I'm fired up, ready to go.
I'm ready for history to be made tonight when the Edmonton Oilers, who have tied the series.
Have they really?
3 games apiece.
Was it 3-0?
It was 3-0.
Wow.
Only one team has ever done this.
And who was that?
The 1942 Toronto Maple Leafs won in 7 after being down 3. This is only the 5th time a team has come back from 3-0 to tie it up.
Never happened in basketball, but it has happened once in hockey, right?
Yeah.
All right.
1942.
Teams, I think 3 or 4 teams have tied it in basketball when they've been down 3-0. They've come back and tied 3-3, but always have lost Game 7. That's not certainly any way to predict the future in your case, Keith. It could very well go Edmonton's way. What has happened to... they really fell apart after winning the first 3, huh?
Edmonton realized they knew how to score goals.
Oh, okay. Well, good.
Scored 8, 5, and 6 in the last 3 games.
Really?
So, yeah.
Sheesh.
It's been exciting.
Yeah, that's fun. All right, we got a brand new bingo card that begins today. When you get a bingo, you call 888-727-BE. No. Gosh, why am I? Why am I down the hall now? 888-933-93 is the number to call. If you're the first one through, you win $30 worth of merchandise and a dozen Kexi cookies from Kexi.com. In the upper left-hand corner, it starts with. By the way, this is pinned to the top of our X page. So just go to Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. How long are we going to have to do that, do you think? I still prefer calling it Twitter. Isn't that what most people still call it?
Not really.
No?
Yeah.
Is it pretty well shifted to X now?
They're old school people like me that just almost just out of
resistant
defiance.
to change.
Yeah, exactly. Plus, X just sounds stupid.
It does sound stupid.
Am I reading too much into this, Chris, where Elon will tweet out like he did last week? All right, do you call it Twitter or X? Be honest. Is he having cold feet on his stupid name, or what's his whole reasoning for asking? If he was confident, you think he would just let it go, right? Right. I don't know. It's annoying.
We'll see. All right, in the upper left-hand corner, starts out with me mentioning my Commodore 64. Keith.
Third worldification.
We give an impromptu English lesson to Chris.
Oh, he loves those.
Loves them. He needs them, too. He needs them desperately.
Yeah.
We have this. You belong in prison, Dr. Fauci.
Oh, that's a little MTG clip.
No, okay, he's working on it. Goes a little something like this. Oh, okay, so you just don't have it.
He technically
that kind of
has
working
it.
on it.
He just doesn't have it playable.
All right. Okay. Jeffy says, facts are facts. I am not a threat to women's sports.
Oh, that's Leah Thomas.
Another one we're working on. I take it. Okay. Then we have Isaac and Jacob.
Okay. My name is Rhonda Locklear. I'm from Pembroke, and I'm a member of the Lumbee tribe of North Carolina.
I think it's you just saying this.
I have 2 children.
You have to play
the whole thing. Mother. I want the best for my boys.
It says Pat says it.
Jacob,
my
oldest,
There's
is a
Jacob.
transferring student
My oldest.
to UNC Pembroke. And Isaac is in the 8th grade.
Okay, there you go. That's where the Isaac and Jacob comes from.
But if you say it, it's okay too, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay,
so. Yeah. Then we've got Al Sharpton.
But resist we much. We must.
Yes.
And we will much.
About that.
Be committed.
Be committed. Okay. The Obama tooth whistle.
Oh, no.
Whistle.
Oh, no.
Tooth whistle.
So it's okay if you do that?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
I think so.
Yeah, because there's no little speaker
Yeah,
there,
it doesn't say it's Obama. Then I say suboptimal, which we actually stole from Stu. That really was his deal, but we've kind of stolen it because I like it, frankly.
Yeah, it's effective.
Right. Jeffy, you don't want none of that, which I think was mine, and he stole from me. Then we got Biden. I got to play this because this is one of my all-time favorites.
I got hairy legs.
Yeah.
That turn.
That turn.
That turn. Blonde in the sun. And the kids used to come.
Notice how long it takes him to say, I got hairy legs that turn blonde in the sun.
What's a lifelong stutter?
Let's go down that road again.
I got hairy legs.
Yeah, that turn.
Blonde in the sun.
Okay, thank you.
And the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down.
Oh, wow.
So it was straight, and then watch the hair come back up again.
Yeah.
They'd look at it. So I learned about roaches. I learned
Why
about
are they
kids jumping on my
laughing,
lap.
encouraging him?
And I love kids jumping on my lap.
There's the part we're looking for. And I love kids jumping on my lap.
Oh, my gosh. We have to sit through that whole thing to get to that line?
Maybe not. We could shorten it just for this week.
I got this part.
I learned about kids jumping on my lap.
No. Oh, you do have that part. Okay. I mean, finally you've got one. Thank you. Nice. Then I say scram.
Scram. You got to do it in like a 1930s style.
Scram, see? Business, music. Oh, yeah. That's right, mama. Yeah, baby. All right, Keith.
It's a death cult, which I guess I stole from you.
I think you did. Pat says subtle nuances. The impeached Alejandro Mayorkas, because we want to make sure we mention that he's been impeached every time we mention his name. He is not respected.
He's not respected. He's not.
Okay. Mention my backyard beavers.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. That are important. Weak, ineffective BS.
It's weak. It's ineffective. It's bull.
No. Okay.
I don't know.
Succinctly put there. Keith.
Bizarro world.
And we've got Biden with...
Buy a shotgun.
Yeah, buy a shotgun. Buy a shotgun. Giblets. Jeffy says, you can quote me on that. And then winking, blinking, and nod. Usually always in reference to Anthony Blinken. All right. Speaking of my backyard beavers, our house went up for sale on Friday.
Okay.
Of course, I mentioned. Friday morning. Went on sale.
And people were lined up.
Friday at 11 a.m.
No way.
We had our first showing. Yeah.
First showing.
Could not believe it. It's a family from Greenwich, Connecticut.
Oh, so
which is almost as good as California.
Yeah, well,
because Greenwich is pricey.
Yeah, so they probably think anything you ask for is
like
deal.
Oh, okay, yeah,
we can do that. Yeah,
we were ready to pay double that price.
And then you, of course, are responsible for jacking up the rest of the prices around here. But anyway,
that's right.
But you got yours.
We got ours.
No, but seriously, is this a
haven't yet?
No, okay, so
not yet.
They didn't. Okay.
Well, they're not even here yet. They're in Greenwich. So their realtor just did that FaceTime video walkthrough for them while they were in Greenwich.
Is that effective? Do a lot of people do
That's
that?
a really good question because the answer is no, apparently. Our realtor said it's about 50-50. If they love the house, which they apparently did, Friday afternoon, we heard they loved it. And they want the disclosure on anything that's wrong with the house right now.
Beavers.
And they're flying in Tuesday, so tomorrow, to see it in person. Now, according to our realtor, when they see it in person, it's about a 50-50 proposition that they're going to like it as much as they did on the video. So, if they sign an offer sheet, which they apparently plan to do, they want it inspected that day. So, I mean, that's how they're in a hurry. And they want a 25-day turnaround.
Cool.
First of all, you're going to be homeless in a month.
Yeah, how do you get how do you get an inspector like on the fly? Do you go to like Inspectors?
I think they must have already lined it up and said, "Hey, if we sign an offer sheet, can you come? Be here on Tuesday?" I guess I don't know. I was asking that same question. How do you do that day of? But we'll see. Wow. It's interesting because we moved into the house from Wilton, Connecticut, which is just down the road from Greenwich. And now they may be moving into our house from Greenwich. Kind of cool. Plus, we found out they're LDS.
Oh.
We're LDS. It seems like it's meant to be. But it could all fall apart in 5 minutes.
Could fall apart, yeah.
They could get here and realize, geez, what is this dump?
Stupid beavers back here.
Yeah, look at, they've got a beaver dam in their backyard. What the hell?
This would be, you know what? I'm going to have to envision the media room since, everything's been taken out of it.
Yeah.
But I'll just try to pretend what it looks like in here.
Right.
The theater screen. Well,
so I don't know.
Good luck.
Yeah, I mean it's promising because they apparently have a lot of money. They're selling their house there, and buying this their next house is not contingent on the sale.
Oh wow!
So that means, yeah, we're loaded.
Yeah.
If you can pay the mortgage on both those homes, more power to you.
So you're going to need a place to stay for a while.
We might have to, I don't know, blaze a trail to your house and.
Oh, I didn't offer
show up with our suitcase.
I was going to say.
I just asked if you were going to need a place to stay. I didn't say come to my house.
We might. I mean, we could be homeless in 26 days.
Oh no!
So I really have mixed emotions. I love this
your
place.
house.
Yeah, we've been there for 12 years. It's the longest we've ever lived in one place. Our kids grew up there. Our grandkids have grown up there. It's really.
You're going to back out.
No, I want to, but
oh
really?
No!
There's no backing out now. Jackie's just too excited about it. She wants to.
Do you guys have
where's the new house?
any plan on where you're going to live?
No,
at all.
Nope, no plan. Literally, no idea.
Well, at least you have been. It's not like he's been talking about it for 2 years,
yeah.
Right?
Or maybe you could go live at Kexi Cookies.
Yeah, I guess we do have that. Yeah, we could. Just put up a cot in the kitchen, which would be so wonderful.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, that'd be great.
Oh, no. Good luck.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So anyway, we'll keep you posted on that, see what happens tomorrow, whether we're going to be homeless soon or not. Apparently, Donald Trump has chosen a running mate. And that person is going to be at the debate, he said, on Thursday night.
And this person doesn't know yet, as far as I'm understanding. Yeah. So he hasn't told this individual.
Interesting.
Very interesting. You know what? Hold on. I took a screenshot of all the names of the people that were going to be at the debate that could be. And you know what? It's honestly what it is, Pat. It's just every name that you've already been hearing.
Yeah.
It's
all the potentials like Marco Rubio and Burgum and whoever else.
Yep, Burgum. Yeah. Well, I can't find the screenshot now. But anyway, it's just basically like every name that we've been talking about here. Oh, here we go. It's Ben Carson, Doug Burgum. They will be there. Lindsey Graham. That's not even an option.
What?
Marco. These are just the people that are going to be there.
Okay.
Marco Rubio. J.D. Vance.
Okay.
Elise Stefanik. Byron Donalds. Yes, please.
That'd be great.
Congressman Wesley Hunter will be there as well.
I'm getting rumblings that there's some constitutional provision.
And Tim Scott.
That they can't be from the same state.
Well, that's always been a
thing.
thing.
I don't know that that's carved in stone, though, is it?
Yeah, that's always been a thing where, to avoid it being challenged, they've always tried to separate, like right on the eve of the 2000 election.
But I think you could challenge it. But
they don't know how this would play out constitutionally.
And he could claim his main residence is in New York.
Right. He has New Jersey, right? He has New York. But that's why Dick Cheney, just to be safe, moved from Texas to his house in Wyoming on the eve of the 2000 election, just to avoid any kind of controversy there. So if it's a Byron Donalds or a Marco Rubio, then you'd probably see Trump just say, I'm registered in New York.
Yeah. Right. And then you're done with it, right? I mean, you don't even have to worry about it at that point. So some legal minds are making the rounds and being asked about this. Former New York governor. This is amazing. Andrew Cuomo.
Asked about the conviction,
Yeah, he was asked about, Trump's recent conviction on the 34 felony charges. Listen to this.
The trial in New York, the one he got convicted for, was the greatest fundraising bonanza ever. He was lagging behind Biden, and now he's pulled quite a bit ahead. That trial was the greatest reason people had to send their checks for $5, $10, $25, whatever dollars to Donald Trump. So I was always with you on the one in New York, the hush money trial. I don't think they should have brought that one. It was just always going to look like a sex case, and people were always just going to look at it that way. So anyway,
that case, the Attorney General's case in New York, frankly, should have never been brought. And if his name was not Donald Trump, and if he wasn't running for president from the former AG in New York, I'm telling you that case would have never been brought.
Yeah, we know.
And that's what is offensive to people.
Yeah.
And it should be.
Yes.
Because
Thank
if
you.
there's anything left, it's belief in the justice system.
How is there? Yeah, we got total belief in the justice system.
Wow. That's amazing, though. I mean, that's not some Republican sitting there, some right-wing kook, some MAGA Republican. That's Andrew Cuomo.
Yeah, and we knew it was going to happen where Alvin Bragg has he's dropped pretty much almost all of the Columbia University protest charges. So we knew that was going to happen, of course.
Sure, of course.
So, yeah, it's he's
what did
absolutely
Kinzinger
right.
have to say sitting right next to him?
No,
that douchebag probably disagreed with them both.
I'm a woman.
Yeah.
I sit when I pee. I don't know. Kinzinger.
Judge Judy had this to say about it.
Is that the justice system working?
Oh, Chris
or
Wallace has a
the
show
justice
still.
system
Yeah.
being manipulated?
Crazy. Who knew?
I would be happier as someone who owns property in Manhattan if the district attorney of New York County would take care of criminals who are making it impossible for citizens to walk in the streets and use the subway, to use his efforts to keep those people off the street, than to spend $5 million or $10 million of taxpayers' money trying Donald Trump on this nonsense.
Thank you.
That's my view. But I, as a taxpayer in this country, resent using the system for your own personal self-aggrandizement. Now, if you didn't know...
And that's what you think the DA did in Manhattan?
That's what I think. I mean, if you look... you had to twist yourself into a pretzel to figure out what the crime was.
Right. That's right. So that's Judge Judy on it. Where's Judge Wapner? Where is he on this thing?
Too soon. Come on now.
Is it? Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah, he's
too soon.
He's not feeling
We
well.
lost him. We lost him. How long's it been since we lost Judge Wapner? Because I'd like to hear his thoughts on. Since we got Judge Judy, you got to get Wapner's opinion. But sadly,
he died in 2017.
Wow, that was a long time ago. 7 years.
Kids, look him up. The People's Court. Dun dun dun. Dun dun dun.
Good times.
That was a great show.
Yeah, good times. Meanwhile, former Obama Attorney General Eric Holder explains exactly how the broken system works in America.
Can you just describe a little bit in terms of the role of and how it would transform if an attorney general were not looking at things purely from the facts, purely from the evidentiary burden and how to meet it, but instead taking directives on who to prosecute from the President of the United States?
Sure. If the president told a compliant attorney general, I don't like what this congressman said about me or did about me, did to me over the course of the last 2-3 years, whatever, open an investigation on that person. That attorney general could tell a compliant United States attorney to do just that. Talk to a compliant FBI director who could be replaced by the president, to open an investigation, and then to just look through that person's life and look for anything that you possibly can find. Who's to say what you find in any person's life that might run afoul of the law, and even beyond that, the mere fact of an investigation of a person who is a public figure can be reputation ruining, can be politically damaging, not even if you find anything, just the fact that the investigation itself exists. And if you've got the full weight of the Justice Department, the full weight of the presidency, the full weight of the FBI focusing on somebody like that, that can be extremely damaging to not only that person individually, but to our democracy writ large.
Oh, jeez.
This sounds like... It sounds like Holder has kind of done these steps.
Yeah.
As Attorney General for a corrupt president. Wow. He knew that chapter and verse, that whole process, didn't he?
Yes, he did. That's great. Wow. All right. On Friday, we didn't get to the. We didn't get to.
We had a clip.
The clip of Joy Reid and is it Representative Jayapal?
Yeah. Oh, this is
discussing the rape of the 13-year-old girl. Oh man,
this is they're just chuckling about it. It's whatever. Yeah, listen to this. Yeah.
great citizens.
But there's a lot of fear-mongering.
There's a lot of fear-mongering. Absolutely.
And I think it's kind of remarkable that
fear-mongering.
The polls I look at, the national polls,
13-year-old girl raped.
Actually, Americans still support immigrants. They support immigration. It's just that they would like to see a system.
We support legal immigration. Legal. If you want to come here for a better life and you want to do it right and you want to do it legally, I don't know anybody who opposes that. What we don't support is just coming across our border, breaking our law, and then committing more crimes while you're here, like, I don't know, identity theft, like tax evasion, when the rest of us have to pay egregious taxes, and then somebody just sneaks across the border and then lives here. Sponging off the rest of us. Yeah. No, we don't appreciate that.
This guy who's being charged with this rape of the 13-year-old girl in New York, he came here illegally in 2021 and then was told, you got to go back. But they let him. And they didn't do anything about it. They just let him run loose in America. And then
this happens again. All right, let's see the rest of this.
Would like to see a system that actually works and that can keep them safe and secure. Mm-hmm. And all of us want that. And, I've been working on this issue for 20 years since before I came to Congress in the streets as an activist.
Let me show you this is one of the reasons that people have these sort of thinking. Here's the three cable networks reporting of this. Was our banner said, soon Biden announces legal protections for undocumented spouses of U.S. citizens. CNN's banner said, Biden announces new protections for some undocumented spouses. Here was Fox's banner. Migrant arrested for raping 13-year-old New York City.
Yes.
And so I think that's part of the problem, right?
Exactly.
Is that you have a lot of fear-mongering.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's real funny.
We
really
know
funny.
that when people have economic insecurity.
Oh my gosh, these people are insane. Literally insane. It comes to my mind a lot what Michael Savage used to say about liberals. It's a mental disease. It's a mental disorder.
Sure is.
It really is. I mean, these people are not right in the head. It is not okay that the 13 and the other two networks, as you just pointed out, completely ignored it. That's not an issue to them. Yeah, it's an issue at Fox because people care about that. 13-year-old girl being raped by somebody who shouldn't have been here in the first place. Yeah, that's a problem.
We learned last week that the perpetrator recorded it as well.
Yeah, he got comfortable with it, and so he just decided to go ahead and record it. Unreal. Meanwhile, all across the country, there's been heartbreaking story after heartbreaking story involving crimes of illegal aliens. Here's a heartbreaking story out of Houston that resulted in the rape and murder of a 12-year-old girl.
Tonight, two Venezuelan migrants are under arrest in Houston, charged with murdering 12-year-old Jocelyn Nungaray.
He took away my firstborn. I was a teen mom. She's who helped me grow, mature.
Immigration authorities say the suspects crossed the border illegally earlier this year and were released into the U.S. by the Border Patrol. Police say the men strangled Jocelyn and dumped her body in a creek. Her mother is devastated.
Nobody deserves to lose a child. No one deserves to bury their child. It's hard.
Wow. That is really
completely avoidable situations.
They shouldn't be here doing this.
Caught and released. Promise to show up at court in 5 years, please. Devastating.
Yeah, it is. Yes, it is. And it's fear-mongering, I guess, if you mention it.
Yeah, don't be mentioning these realities.
Don't mention that. Because everybody just wants to welcome illegals. Don't worry about it. We're a nation of immigrants. I don't know if you're aware of that.
I've heard it.
And apparently we're a nation of illegal criminal aliens as well. So that's great. Working out really well. I mean, that is reminiscent of that Houston story from many years ago, a couple of decades ago, where they did the gang initiation as those two teenage girls walked through a park on their way home in the middle of the night and happened to stumble across a gang initiation and were raped and murdered right then and there.
Yeah, and taking nothing away from the horror of that event, it's stuff like that is now happening
All the time.
On a regular basis.
Yeah, all the time. Yeah, and that was the one that George Bush sided with Mexico on the, man, that was one of the real stumbling blocks for me and George W. Bush, because he was trying to intervene on behalf of the Mexican government so that this guy could have his sentence commuted, or I think they wanted to turn it from a death penalty to a life in prison, or send him back to Mexico. I don't remember all the details, but they lost that battle, thank goodness, and the guy was executed eventually, but it took a long time. And here we are again, right back there in Indiana. There was a girl kidnapped by illegals.
5 men in the U.S. illegally were arrested Monday morning in northeast Missouri after a teenage girl was reported missing in Indiana. The suspects are accused of kidnapping the 14-year-old from her home. Jeez. They were tracked down in Macon County. All 5 of these men are charged with second-degree kidnapping and first-degree endangering the welfare of a child. The girl's father had last seen her getting in a black SUV and reported her missing to police in Indiana. Just before 2 a.m. on Monday, Missouri state troopers were notified that the girl's cell phone was pinged going westbound on U.S. Highway 36. A short time later, a Shelbina police sergeant saw a black SUV with Texas plates heading west. Just before 2:30 a.m., a trooper saw an SUV matching the description and pulled it over in Macon County. The trooper looked in the vehicle and saw a juvenile in the back. She identified herself as the missing teen. With help from the Macon County Sheriff's Office and Macon Police Department, the trooper took these men into custody.
Look at that.
3 are from Honduras and 2 are from Mexico. Authorities believe the suspects were taking the girl to California, where she was to meet with an unknown man she met on the internet.
Oh, man. Wow.
But they're just here for a better life.
Yeah. Don't worry about it. They're just good family people, that's all, looking for a better life. Same thing in Colorado. Immigrant who was not only in the country illegally, but driving a big truck illegally. And he cost another American his life.
Taken from you out of nowhere. He was just young. He was only 64, and I just want everybody to know my dad was fun. He was an awesome dad. He was an awesome grandfather. He left behind a grandson and a granddaughter, and they miss him. We're all gonna miss him.
Officials say Cruz Mendoza was in the country illegally and did not have his commercial driver's license.
There is a lot of layers to this that goes from the federal government down to the state and local government, where there's just a lot of things that are falling through the cracks to make sure that our drivers that are on the roads are safe.
Miller's family tells us he was a truck driver himself who always urged safety on the roads.
Since I was a kid, always told me to be careful of driving around trucks, especially in the mountains, because it takes an extreme amount of skill.
Jimmy's getting a sled ride.
His loved ones say this is all just the beginning of a push for justice and awareness.
Jeez, really sad. Man. But don't worry about it.
A lot of families. A lot of unnecessary heartache.
Yeah.
There that it's completely avoidable.
The Supreme Court at least did rule against chain migration over the weekend. Spouses don't have the right to bring non-citizen spouses into the country.
Was this one specific because of the MS-13 ties, or is this going to cover everybody? Do we know? Because my understanding that it was because the guy had a MS-13 connection. Is it more broad than that? I hope.
They rarely make broad rulings, but in a 6-3 decision along ideological lines, of course, they ruled against the California woman who sued the State Department and claimed her rights were violated because her Salvadoran husband's green card application was denied without explanation. Ruling deals a blow to Americans who want to marry foreigners. U.S. courts have already drastically limited Americans' ability to challenge visa denials in court, but Friday's decision further limits the grounds on which they can sue.
Okay.
Good.
So is this going to negate what Biden just signed last week?
That'll be interesting to see. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't really cover that. But Amy Coney Barrett wrote for the majority that Congress is free to write immigration laws in a way that gives priority to family unification, but the Constitution doesn't require such policies. Interesting. All right, 888-900-3393. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
We were just talking about the Supreme Court ruling that spouses don't have the absolute right to bring their, partner into the country. The issue was these two people from, I don't know, El Salvador. They married in 2010. They had a child together. She eventually sought a spousal visa for him. Now, she's a U.S. citizen, though. And during the final stage of that process in 2015, he was required to travel from Los Angeles to the U.S. consulate in El Salvador for an interview. He's been stuck in El Salvador ever since. The State Department denied his application, citing a statute that allows the U.S. government to turn away applicants who could be engaged in illegal activity. The department didn't provide an explanation, though, for why they believed he might break the law. But after years of litigation, the government disclosed that the consular officer found that he may be a gang member because of his tattoos. Apparently, I think this was an MS-13 sort of tattoo appearance. He submitted a declaration that he's never been a gang member. And his tattoos are, quote, expressive of his intellectualism and deeply held Catholic faith. Well, then, what's the problem? Let him in. They're intellectual tattoos.
This is actually surprising. This is shocking that our government actually stopped someone from coming in.
I know, it really is. But keep in mind, it happened in 2015.
I see.
Well, 2016 probably by now, or 2017, so it was probably under Trump, and they're like, okay, guy's probably a gang member. Don't let him come back. So
we stopped somebody.
See. Yeah, they stopped one person.
Woo.
Yeah. Okay. Got some tweets here. B. DeBodine tweets, the Red Sox came back from 3-0 to win the American League Championship against the hated Yankees in 2004.
That was incredible.
Yeah.
And that was also an important part of the TV show Lost, if you'll recall.
Oh.
Remember that?
Yeah. Vaguely. Yes, I do.
I love that.
Sons of Thunder 44. How many sane parents are willing to let their kids jump on Biden's lap?
Yeah.
A grand total of bring it on to one. None.
Ooh.
0 sane parents would allow that.
Yeah, Joe Biden's the guy that you warn your kids to stay away from at the pool.
Yes, right.
That's the crazy.
If he starts coming toward you, run.
Scream.
The opposite way. Scream.
If you're trapped,
and run.
scream. Yeah.
The deplorable Mr. Jackwagon, Pat Gray and the Backyard Beavers. Good band name.
Yes. Yes.
I think they're playing at the Hippodrome in Baltimore.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Bob Corona. It's a well-known fact that a mailbox that's 4 inches too tall is an immediate deal breaker when you're selling your home.
Oh, no.
Ah, crap.
That would suck.
That would, wouldn't it? From Stand Up, Chuck. Pat, try living at the White House. It's unoccupied most of the time nowadays. That's a good point. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's enough room there, right? Mm-hmm. 52,000 square feet. I think we could find some space for us. Speaking of which, while Biden is at Camp David, taking a full week to prepare for Thursday night's debate. He started last Thursday, right?
Yeah.
Donald Trump is out campaigning.
Yeah.
Saying things like this.
On day one, I will seal the border, stop the invasion, and send Joe Biden's illegal aliens the hell back home.
All right.
Please. Yes, please.
Good. But he has another plan when it comes to immigration that he shared on a podcast last week.
Oh, no.
We need high-skilled workers in this country.
Yes.
We need to recruit the best and brightest from the world.
I agree.
Can you please promise us you will give us more ability to import the best and brightest around the world to America.
I do promise, but I happen to agree. That's why I promise. Otherwise, I wouldn't promise. It's so sad when we lose people from Harvard, MIT, from the greatest schools, and lesser schools that are phenomenal schools also. And what I wanted to do, and I would have done this, but then we had to solve the COVID problem because that came in and, sort of dominated for a little while, as you perhaps know. But what I want to do and what I will do is you graduate from a college, I think you should get automatically as part of your diploma a green card to be able to stay in this country. And that includes junior colleges, too. Anybody graduates from a college, you go in there for 2 years or 4 years. If you graduate or you get a doctorate degree from a college, you should be able to stay in this country. And you know more stories than I do, but I know of stories where people graduated from a top college or from a college, and they desperately wanted to stay here. They had a plan for a company, a concept, and they can't. They go back to India, they go back to China, they do the same basic company in those places, and they become multi-billionaires employing thousands and thousands of people, and it could have been done here. And a bigger example is that you need a pool of people to work for your companies. You have great companies, and they have to be smart people. Not everybody can be less than smart. You need brilliant people. And we force the brilliant people, the people that graduate from college, the people that are number one in their class from the best colleges, you have to be able to recruit these people and keep the people. It was such a big deal. Somebody graduates at the top of the class. They can't even make a deal with the company because they don't think they're going to be able to stay in the country. That is going to end on day one.
A lot of things ending day one. A lot of things.
It's going to be a busy day.
That's a busy darn day. Still, that day is still just 24 hours, right?
Well, it's actually 12. Because you're not inaugurated till noon.
Well, that's right.
And then you got to,
That's right.
listen to the singing and the bull crap, and then you got to go back to the office.
Maybe you've got 11 hours.
Well, hold on. Then you got the inaugural ball that night.
Yeah. Right.
I mean,
you're probably going to attend that.
Maybe 8 hours?
It's busy. It's a busy time.
But don't worry. He still has 210 days, 5 hours, 17 minutes, and
You're
10
killing
seconds
me.
before
You
he goes
are
up there.
You know what?
Killing me.
Go learn English.
I'm trying.
Man, this is not good.
It's not good.
So we're okay. So we're giving green cards, like so when
to everybody who graduates.
When you go across the stage, they hand you your diploma and a green card.
Yep, to everybody.
So,
and then you mentioned you shouldn't get a doctorate in this country and then be kicked out or whatever. You don't get a doctorate in 2 years.
Okay.
Or 4.
All right.
For that matter.
Okay.
Now, if you're talking about doctorates, I don't know. Maybe we can entertain that. You get a doctorate here. If you're a PhD, we'll let you stay.
Let's think this through, though. We're going to colleges and universities that have had these individuals, these people from foreign lands, in their midst for however many years. And so they're forming their thoughts about America at colleges and universities, and now congratulations, you get to stay. Now that you hate this country, and you've been taught to hate this country, and everything it stands for, congratulations, here's your green card.
And some of those students from China are spies.
I know, man.
Just flat out spies.
Oh, I don't like it.
China has infiltrated this country like you can't believe. So I don't know. We'll see. You get a PhD, you get a doctorate, you get a bachelor's degree, you get to stay. You get an associate degree. Isn't that what it is after 2 years?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an associate's degree. You get that, you can stay forever. We'll give you a green card, just stay. I don't know. I am not opposed to looking at some of the laws about legal immigration and maybe tweaking that to a certain extent, because we do need smart people. And apparently we've got a shortage, I guess, of smart people.
But can we table that, though? Why does it have to be day one? We're doing the green card at colleges thing.
Yeah.
I like his other day one immigration plan.
Yeah, fix the illegal situation first. And then we'll look at the legal.
We're going to table the green card diploma discussion and revisit once we shut off the water.
Right.
It's
because that's not an emergency issue. You don't need to deal with that on day one. Meanwhile, in D.C., there's a warning coming from Senator Mike Lee, Congressman Chip Roy, and others. Illegals could get away with voting in the November election. Listen to what the Biden administration is up to here.
Good morning. I'm Rosemary Jenks with the Immigration Accountability Project. As Senator Lee said, we estimate that there are upwards of 30 million non-citizens, so foreign-born who have not naturalized, and are therefore ineligible to vote under our laws.
Pause it. Thank you for eliminating the 11 million nonsense. Thank you. That's one of the first times I've heard from official people, from people who are in power, the Mike Lees of the world, that this is not 11 million illegals here.
I feel it's even north of 30.
Oh, I think so too. But at least they granted that it's not, the dumb figure that they've been insulting our intelligence with now for 25 years.
It's almost like we have at our house, we have, believe this or not, kids, before the internet, we had encyclopedias.
Yeah.
And so we have this long row of World Book encyclopedias from 1988. I mean, it talks about communism and Soviet Union, all this stuff. This is stuff that I had.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, we still hang on to these outdated things. It's almost like in the illegal alien discussion, it's just like, yep, 11 million static number. It's like, have you not updated your encyclopedia in 3 decades?
Yeah, well, and they haven't.
Exactly. Come on. Have you seen what's happening every day at the border?
All right, let her finish.
Okay.
The problem that we have now is that the Biden administration, there's a Biden executive order that orders all federal agencies to provide voter registration information to everyone they come in contact with.
Listen to this.
We also know that state election officials are not permitted to ask for proof of citizenship for applicants who fill out the federal form.
How could that be?
So if you're a non-citizen in this country, whether you're an asylum seeker or a foreign student or whatever, if a government official hands you a voter registration form, you're going to think that you need to fill it out. Then you are going to be unlawfully registered to vote. If you vote, it is a deportable criminal offense.
Okay. Wow. But see, all right, here are my thoughts. Okay. I don't think that they're giving them these forms so that they'll show up and vote. I think they're giving them these forms so that now there are extra names on the voter rolls that they can then use in a fraudulent manner to, I don't know, increase some voter totals. I don't think they're expecting these illegals to actually show up. They just want that name. They want that associated with a mail-in ballot that automatically gets sent out.
But either way, it's bad.
Oh yeah, nefarious.
Really bad.
Jeez. You hear something like that, and then any kind of hope you had in November, you're just like, oh crap!
I know.
They got this.
And there are a lot of states that are looking at their voter registrations and trying to clean them up, and of course, they get incredible blowback from Democrats every time they try to do it. But at least it's there's an effort right now being made, and it has to happen. Has to happen. Also, we were just talking about the Supreme Court ruling on immigration. They've got 61 cases they're looking at this session, and 15 of them remain unsolved. Here are some of the major undecided cases so far.
Right.
Presidential immunity. That's a big one. I don't know why they haven't done that one already. This should have been first on the list. It's kind of important. It's kind of a pressing issue. What are you doing? So Trump is arguing that former presidents are immune from prosecution for official acts they took in office. Otherwise, if you don't do that, then anything that people disagree with, you can prosecute a president for. And the indictment he faces on charges of election interference must be dismissed. Supreme Court has previously ruled that former presidents can't be sued in civil cases for what they did, but they have not weighed in on criminal immunity. It's always kind of been assumed that they have that, though. The timing of the decision may be as important as the outcome. Trump's trial in D.C. may not take place before the November election, even if the court rules he's not immune. Okay, so that's one really big one, and one that is really sensitive time-wise. Then there's January 6th. Former Pennsylvania police officers challenging the validity of obstruction charges brought against hundreds of people who took part in the violent assault on the Capitol. Trump faces the same charge of obstructing an official proceeding. The issue is whether a law meant to discourage tampering with documents sought in investigations can be used against the Capitol rioters. Interesting. That's an important one. Emergency abortion. There's a second abortion case on the docket this year. Whether doctors can provide that medical procedure in emergencies in states that banned abortion after Roe v. Wade. In a case from Idaho, the Biden administration says abortions must be allowed in emergencies where a woman's health is at serious risk. Now, in Idaho, they say that's already the case. The law already allows for an abortion in the case of mother's life being in danger. But it's gone to the Supreme Court. Homelessness. The most significant Supreme Court case in decades on homelessness centers on whether people can be banned from sleeping outdoors when shelter space is lacking. So that's like, can you set up a tent anywhere you want? Can they put tents downtown, in front of businesses, on sidewalks, all of those things? And, you know, we've got that problem nationwide right now. This is a really important issue. Can you just camp? Can you be an outdoor urban camper anywhere you want, anytime you want, for as long as you want? That seems counterproductive to me.
But the cities look so much more aesthetically pleasing.
When the tents are all set up?
Yeah, when you're driving around, because they're so
beautiful, yeah.
Every color of the rainbow is represented under the overpass there, Pat.
Yeah.
So lovely.
That's great. Social media. 3 cases remain unsolved at the intersection of social media and government. 2 cases involve social media laws in Texas and Florida that would limit how Facebook, TikTok, X, YouTube, and others regulate content posted by their users. While the details vary, both laws aimed to address conservative complaints that the social media companies were liberal-leaning and censored users based on their viewpoints, especially on the political right. What? When did that happen? In the third case, Republican-led states are suing the Biden administration over how far the federal government can go to combat controversial social media posts on topics like COVID-19 and election security. I mean, it's a speech problem here. It's a speech issue. Do we have freedom of speech or not? The Supreme Court also controls the fate of a nationwide settlement with OxyContin maker Purdue Pharma that would allocate billions of dollars to combat the opioid epidemic, but also provide a legal shield for members of the Sackler family who own the company. Settlement's been on hold since last summer after the Supreme Court agreed to weigh in. Then they've got an air pollution issue. Energy-producing states and the steel industry want the court to put the Environmental Protection Agency's air pollution fighting Good Neighbor plan on hold while legal challenges continue. So just a couple of issues that are really huge and really important that they still have to decide. More coming up in just a minute. 888-900-3393.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Pat Gray is here
Bam.
On the Blaze Radio Network.
Welcome to it. Got some tweets here. Some tiny ones that require the glasses.
Tiny tweets.
Tiny tweets. Unrepentant thought criminal tweets. Something tells me Pat will be paying close attention to the SCOTUS ruling on homelessness, especially after his house sells. Yep.
That's funny.
Yep.
It's good stuff.
Will they allow me to put up my tent in downtown Dallas? Will they allow it? Or downtown, like right in the heart of South Lake. A homeless tent would look really good there.
I have a suggestion for you.
All right.
It would actually be excellent for your commute time in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Just park something out here in the lot. No one's going to care.
Oh.
Just leave it here forever.
Right, okay. Yeah, we'll try that.
As you've seen with
there is a car that's been out there for...
And a van.
I don't know, 5 years?
We're turning into a junkyard, actually. We're morphing into that. I don't know if we got a zoning change or what, but...
I don't know.
Anyway, just park your car out there.
Yeah.
You're fine.
Okay. Just an old guy with a mic. If Pat becomes homeless, he can go to Mexico, then sneak back into the U.S. The federal government will give him a place to stay, free food, and some spending money. Stay illegal, my friends. That's great.
Stay illegal. Like it.
That's so good. And it's so true. I was just reading about the residents in California with this luxury apartment thing they just built in Los Angeles. They just opened a state-of-the-art luxury hotel for the city's homeless. Now, they are requiring photo ID to live there.
Whoa!
You do not have to have photo ID to vote, of course, in Los Angeles. But to live in this homeless shelter, you're going to need ID.
Yeah.
On Wednesday, city officials opened the brand new 19-story residential high-rise with 278 units that cost as much to build as a 5-star resort. To lease an apartment in the downtown luxury tower, however, homeless residents must provide their photo ID.
I love it.
And a social security card.
Oh, what?
Wow. Repeat LA voters, however, don't need any photo ID to turn in their ballot. California is one of 12 states plus D.C. with no voter ID law on the books. Residents must only present their identification for their first time voting. According to the California Globe, a conservative statewide paper, the project cost about, this luxury apartment cost $165 million. And the studio apartments are essentially the equivalent of what you would find at a decent extended stay hotel. Large room kitchenette, bed, tables, chairs, bathroom, TV, etc., all provided for you. $594,000, almost $600,000 per unit.
Wow.
It's a little over $1,000 per square foot to build. $1,000 per square foot.
Okay, I got to do math. I'll get back to you. Holy crap.
Wow. You're not paying that in some of the nicest areas.
No.
In the nicest parts of town.
Mm-mm.
I mean, a really expensive home would be like $300 or $400 per square foot.
Right.
$1,000 per square foot? My gosh.
And the thing is, you said it cost $165 million to create this building, right?
Yeah.
And in about 3 weeks, how many millions of dollars in renovations and repairs are you going to need after they trash the inside of that thing?
Yeah. Does anybody believe this won't be trashed in a really short amount of time? I mean, you're putting homeless people in there. And bless their hearts, they're mentally ill, many of them. Many of them are sick in the head.
Are they going to have like the open barrels with the fire in there? Because that'll set off the sprinklers multiple times a day, I'll tell you that. So no, you have.
We'll have to ask.
It's an oven. Let me show you how this works. Huh.
So the Los Angeles homeless problem has become a national embarrassment for California's largest city, with open-air drug use and tent encampments saturating the city of almost 4 million residents. In December, a former Democratic congresswoman from the area pledged to build a new Los Angeles. And I guess this is part of that. Homeless numbers in L.A. could surge again, even as thousands move to temporary shelters. And so they're trying to provide places for them. And that's what this is all about. That's crazy. $165 million luxury apartment building.
Now, congratulations, L.A., if you want to help your homeless population. It's just maybe you keep things in perspective.
Right.
We don't need this luxury. And no. By the way, if anybody thinks it's actually worth, what was it, $100 a square foot? $1,000 a square foot?
Yeah.
If you don't think that there is some, I don't know, siphoning off the top happening from some?
No question.
You're delusional.
No question. Got a few other tweets here. Rhino season tweets, the Supreme Court finally ruled against Ilhan Omar's marriage to her brother.
Oh, no.
Better late than never, I guess, on that one. I think he went back, didn't he, to Somalia? I think he went back home.
Oh, shoot.
Jeffy's illegal wife tweets, North Carolina has finally stated that a photo ID is required. It was a pleasure showing my driver's license to vote. Democrats can only win by cheating as they have no good ideas. Yeah. Also, Biden official says that I love this because every single Biden official that has been nominated or put into place in the last 4 years has been a complete radical, right? And usually a fringe member of the LGBTQIA2+ community. I don't know where they're getting these people. I don't know why you can't just nominate somebody in the mainstream, but they can't.
They love this. They
can't.
go out of their way to find the oddest of the oddballs among us.
So this guy says his past social media posts don't reflect current views.
Are you talking about Tyler Cherry?
Yes.
Oh, this guy's great.
Yes. White House official who stoked controversy with social media posts attacking police, supporting the anti-Israel movement, and promoting Russiagate is now downplaying these posts, saying they were written when he was younger and do not reflect his current views.
Look at that guy, huh?
There he is.
All right. And there's his tweets.
Nice.
He's a winner.
Oh, yeah.
What he is.
Yeah.
Tyler Cherry.
Don't you love his top? It's beautiful. And the roses on it.
So
that's really
how
nice.
do you get the roses to stay in place, though? Are they glued on? Are they just kind of free-flowing?
They're sewn into the mesh.
They're sewn into the mesh. Thank you, Chris Cruz, of course, knowing that answer.
That's good.
Love that.
Okay. Do you have a similar top?
I do, but mine's
in
a
your
little bit
collection?
shorter.
Okay.
I want to show more mid-bridge.
Shorter,
section.
really?
Yeah.
Tyler Cherry's?
No, I don't. But I did help a girl made one, so.
Yeah.
Hold on. Hold on. What are you? What?
So these were written when he was younger. I mean,
yeah,
the anti-Israel movement, is that like a way back machine kind of
look
post
at that.
on
2018. Woo! That's so far
How
back.
old were you in 2018? I think I was 4. I was 4 years old.
I wasn't even born yet.
Yeah. Okay.
Weird.
Tyler Cherry was promoted last week as an associate communications director at the White House after more than 3 years at the Department of Interior, working for Secretary Deb Haaland.
So he's been in the administration in a high-level position.
Right. Yeah, he has. He has.
And so, wait, is he going to be answering to KJP now? He's on the left, by the way.
I believe so.
He's in the dress on the left, yeah.
Okay, so his
Short
boss
little skirt
is KJ. Well, she runs a tight ship, clearly.
Yeah.
She's got to be tough. So
now, this is what you want in the administration, right? This makes you proud.
Has he stolen
as an
anybody's
American.
luggage at an airport yet?
I can't wait
the
for
next
that
news cycle.
story.
Not that we know of, but who knows?
Tyler Cherry, ladies and gentlemen.
In one tweet from 2015, Cherry said he was praying even harder for an end to capitalistic police state motivated by explicit and implicit racial biases. The tweet came amid the riots sparked by the police custody death of Freddie Gray, the black man in Baltimore that the Key Bridge is going to be named after, no doubt, when it's built. Yep. In another post a few months later, Cherry said modern-day policing was a direct evolution of slave patrols and lynch mobs. Many of his posts have championed the cause of Palestinians against Israel. In one post from July 25th, 2014, he wrote, cheersing in bars. What is cheersing?
Oh, no. I don't know.
Cheersing in bars to ending the occupation of Palestine. No shame. And F your support Gaza free Palestine. What?
I don't know. Incoherent, huh?
F your glares.
F your glares?
Okay, yeah. So people are glaring at him, I guess, because of his support for Palestinians?
Or is it because it's a dude in a dress who looks like a dude in a dress? Maybe that's why they're glaring at you, freak. Oh, my gosh. This is... But he was so much younger when he tweeted this stuff out.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I should let it go.
I mean, this is ancient history. Other posts have been directed at Republicans, whom he is accused of being too focused on white grievance politics. Another outright calling for abolishing U.S. immigration and customs enforcement. On Sunday, Cherry wrote on X, past social media posts from when I was younger do not reflect my current views, period. I support this administration's agenda and will continue my communications work focused on our climate and environmental policies. Well, wonderful. That's wonderful. Why can't they just nominate or promote, I don't know, somebody from the mainstream. Seriously. All these radicals, all these people who have written all of these radical things, these radical ideas. Again, if this was Trump and he was nominating somebody for a post, an important one like this in the communications department at the White House, and he had posted all kinds of social media things that, I don't know, were KKK oriented or went anywhere against the mainstream. You know that there would just be an absolute outcry, and that would be shut down immediately, and the person would have to be drummed out of office.
They wouldn't have to do social media posts. It could be just a Trump nominee on a sidewalk walking by a building where someone was holding up a Confederate flag in the background 200 yards away. They'd be like, oh my gosh, look, he's associated with Confederate sympathizers, racist, KKK. And the guy was just like, I was walking to lunch one day and there was a protest outside. Whatever, you're in the same picture. Get out. That's what would happen to a Trump nominee.
Did anybody doubt that?
No.
Jeez. All right. You're not going to like this, I'm sure, but if you think you're prepared, take a note from millennials and Gen Z. Hate to admit it, but they're doing something right. Research shows they're more prepared than other generations, from their savings accounts to their emergency stockpiles. Well, we have no excuse. If you're not preparing, you're failing. Get started with My Patriot Supply. Since 2008, My Patriot Supply has helped millions of Americans gear up for emergencies. Their popular 4-week emergency food kits, they can't stay out of the customers' carts. If you can get yours right now at my website, preparewithpat.com. Each food kit offers over 2,000 calories every day. Plus, with ultra-durable 4-layer packaging, it lasts up to 25 years in storage. Order as many kits as you need and save $50 on each one. Free shipping is included. So even if the younger ones can sense that something is coming, you know it must be coming soon. You have no time to waste. Stock up on these essential food kits at preparewithpat.com. Preparewithpat.com.
Pat Gray Unleashed. We'll be right back after this.
Got some tweets here. Sarah the Band. So Tyler Cherry should be forgiven for past tweets, but everyone else gets canceled for theirs. Right.
Yeah.
It's great to be a Democrat in Biden's America.
No kidding. Somebody found that he really likes to quote tweet other tweets that have pictures of white people in them, and apparently always tweets out, too many white people. What is this self-hatred?
Is he not
so
white?
Weird.
Is he
Yeah, he is white. He is white.
He looks white.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, I think he is. It's just bizarre.
Sure is.
It's a self-loathing thing that's going on with so many of these progressives. Cheap deep fake. 90% of homeless people don't want homes. Building more shelters isn't the solution. They're not going to go. That's really true. We found that already. You're going to have to forcibly put them in there. Like prison, which, of course, the government won't do. And if you did, they just destroy the place. Mm-hmm. Trump's colon?
What?
That van in the parking lot is most likely the feds.
Oh, that's a fact.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I thought.
Could well be.
Yeah.
Have we looked inside?
I haven't.
I'm going to look.
Yeah, go look. Yeah.
We might need to do a little...
Seriously, it's been there, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years?
Yeah.
It's been there a long time.
See. The car's been there for 5 or so years, right?
Yeah.
The van maybe just a mere
More recent.
3 on that one. That one's totally reasonable.
Yeah, that one's almost brand new.
What is the deal with that?
I don't know.
We'll do a video after the war. After
And here, I get concerned when I park my vehicle out there just for a 2-day trip to the airport.
Yeah.
Yeah. And these cars are... Okay. Whatever.
All right. I guess there was another climate change protest at a golf event over the weekend.
Yep.
PGA event.
Mm-hmm.
And Scotty Scheffler was about to win the tournament again. This guy's amazing.
Yeah.
Is there anything he doesn't win?
Here's a fun
lately?
fact.
Jeez.
He's made almost $28 million this year alone.
No, this year?
This year alone. And
oh, my gosh.
Yeah. I mean, and so only, 3 or 4 months of tournaments.
Wow.
And his son, what did I see? That he has a kid who's like 6 weeks old that has already been out at the green celebrating. Somebody made a point of this. Like, this is the second time that this little baby has been, celebrating with his dad, Scotty, at the green of a major golf tournament.
Wow.
And he's 6 weeks old.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That's great. All right, but he got interrupted before he took his shot, I think.
Of course.
And
there we go. There come the stop oil people. And then you see the cops chasing him through the bunker, which, by the way, Scotty Scheffler probably seeing a cop run toward him doesn't feel good.
We got a whole group of protesters here.
Yeah. Just had recent issue with the police.
They've been tackled on the ground, on the green.
Yeah, there were multiple protesters just spreading their crap everywhere. Yeah.
Idiots.
Yep. Oh, speaking of...
That changed everybody's mind, though? Did you think, you know what? I'm going to get rid of my SUV now.
I'm not flying tomorrow.
Yeah, and I'm not going to eat any more meat.
Not going to eat meat.
Yeah.
Right. Changed my life completely.
Sure did.
Seeing them run through the golf course like that. That completely turned me around. I didn't believe in man-caused climate change.
And now you do.
Until yesterday. Yeah. And now I do. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm so convinced now. Thank you, you people who ran out on the golf course. Changed my life.
Are you going to join them and do it too? You have to pay
yes.
forward so you can convince someone else.
Yes.
No, I'm too lazy. We said we would stop eating meat.
Huh.
What else do you need from us? I'm not going out on the green.
I'm so convinced. I will.
You will?
I guess.
Okay. Are you going to buy a Prius now?
No, I'm not going to go that far.
He's going to bike to work.
Oh, yeah. If his commute is right here in the parking lot,
he's going to just
I'm just going to live.
So speaking of climate freaks, you know who was it? Because they've been I guarantee you, they soft booked 6 months ago. They said, "Hey, Bill Nye, the first heat wave we get this summer, we need to have you on our shows." And he was making the rounds. And we have a clip of him. Yeah, this is
going to be agonizing.
Yeah, it's bad.
Oh, my.
Here we go.
So everybody that I speak with acknowledges that the climate is changing.
Everybody.
Just the nudge that we work on, and people on my side of this is pointing out that humans are causing it.
Yeah,
and we're doing
everybody believes it
because we've created this wonderful quality of life for so many people.
I like it.
By burning ancient carbon, ancient swamps, coal, oil, gas. We just got to stop doing that.
Okay, just got to stop doing that. All right,
that's simple.
Man, I am more convinced now than ever between the golf course thing and Bill Nye, the non-science guy. I am totally convinced right now.
Which one do you think swayed you more? Was it the freaks at the golf course or the bow tie guy?
I think it was the freaks at the golf course, because they threw stuff.
Yeah.
And you got to be really passionate and right.
They seem to be enjoying their protest. Bill Nye put on a serious face. Everyone
He also had a really hard time getting through whatever it was he was trying to say there. Didn't he? Is he losing it too?
I know we really like our creature comforts, but we have to stop. Okay, I want to tour Bill Nye's house. Let's go see.
I'd love. Yeah, we got to look into that.
Is he living like a caveman? He got no lights.
Got to look into that.
No electricity.
Never flies anynewhere.
Never flies anywhere.
Doesn't have a gas guzzling car.
How'd you get to the interview today, Bill? Answer the question. That's just these people.
It's so ridiculous. You know what? It's summertime. Yes, it's hot. It's always hot in the summertime.
That's a new thing. Don't act like it.
It's a new thing. Yeah, you know what happened? This year it got really warm. In the summer. Jeez.
You know what? I would never be able to find it here. But I was at a cool little museum Valentine, Nebraska. And I tweeted this out. Let's see if I can find it here. But they had the weather records. Yeah, here it is right here. Here we go. Yeah, look at this. This is October 1895. You might recognize that
October
as
1895.
Long time ago. Valentine, Nebraska. The temperature hit 19 degrees on October 8th of 1895. Brr, right? So that's really cold there.
That's cold.
The next day, on October 9th, 1895, it reached a high of 82 degrees, then 84 degrees on October 12th.
And where was this?
Valentine, Nebraska. And then a week later, it was back down to 18 degrees, then 6 degrees on October 29th. See, this is called weather.
Yeah.
Things happen. It gets colder, it gets warmer, but you're hitting 84 degrees in the middle of October in western Nebraska?
That's crazy.
130 years ago?
Yeah.
What caused that, Bill? Ugh. Just these people suck.
I know.
They
know. This stuff happens all the time. It's always happened. Well, but it's just much more extreme now than it's ever been in the past. No. You know what? If you really go through the statistics, I mean, they say every single year is hotter than the year before. Every single year they do that. Well, if we're heating up like this, why does it still get really, really cold as well? Wouldn't that eventually stop? I mean, if we're in this greenhouse effect and the CO2 is responsible for the heat on this planet rather than, I don't know, the 2 million degree burning orb in the sky, then wouldn't it just stay that way eventually? It would seem to me like we shouldn't be getting to really record cold temperatures in Texas like we did just back in February or whenever that was. When was our big cold snap here where my pipes froze and broke again?
Mm-hmm.
You didn't hear that if you live in Greenwich, Connecticut. That didn't happen.
No.
I just made that up. Completely made it up. And we fixed it immediately. So. All right. More coming up in just a minute.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
All right, got some tweets here. Let's see, from AF Post? Is that what that is? Am I reading that correctly?
I don't think we have. Do we have tweets? I don't think we have any tweets.
Oh, it's not a tweet? Oh, it's a Ten Commandments.
Oh, yeah, they reported that, see, Texas, we're always taking the lead on stuff. Am I right? No. So they wait for somebody else to provide cover.
Yeah, like Louisiana.
And then our politicians go, oh, that's a good idea. You guys absorb the legal costs. Then we'll jump in here.
So now, Lieutenant Governor of Texas, are we talking Dan Patrick?
We
here?
are.
Yeah, okay. My friend Dan says he'll pass a bill to mandate the Ten Commandments in schools, following in Louisiana's footsteps.
Way to be out front of this, Texas. But anyway, better late than never. But,
yeah, whatever. I mean, that's interesting.
It's going to be interesting to see how this thing ends up.
Yeah.
Supreme Court, obviously.
Obviously, if they take it. Also, dumbass Justin Timberlake was given a warning before his arrest.
That's a quote, by the way.
Okay. He was reportedly given a warning after being stopped by Sag Harbor police on Tuesday morning and was only arrested after he kept on driving.
This is ridiculous, this story.
The New York Post reports that Timberlake was stopped and advised not to drive. So they gave him, like, he was drunk and they just said, stop driving?
Well, kind of.
Yeah. But just a few minutes later, the singer was observed by the same officer driving.
Exactly.
He was driving his 2025 BMW SUV again. What a dumbass, the source said. I'm thinking he could afford a driver.
Right?
How's that for entitlement? Yep. Timberlake, who's admitted in the past to having problems with excessive drinking, told police he just had one martini at the American Hotel while having dinner with friends.
How tall was the martini? Was it like 6 feet high?
It was a 5-gallon jug of martinis. But
it was just the one, officer.
Yeah, right. A criminal complaint states that Timberlake refused 3 times to take a chemical test, but presented with bloodshot, glassy eyes and a strong smell of alcohol on his breath. His attorney, Ed Burke, told the New York Post in a statement that he looks forward to vigorously defending Mr. Timberlake against these allegations.
All right, cool.
He'll have a lot to say at the appropriate time.
Boy, that
Can't
cop
wait.
that let him go, though. You're right. What if he goes and causes a wreck or runs over a kid or but
hits a family of 5, kills them?
So he was inebriated enough to take in later than he was in the original stop.
Weird.
Very weird. And
it says it was just a few minutes. A few minutes later.
It's very weird.
Very
Can we
weird.
revisit the headline there? I'm just curious. Is that a typo, Pat? Is it dumb ass 1 word or dumb ass 2 words? What do you think? It's tricky. It's tricky, right?
It is tricky.
It is tricky.
It is, yeah.
So,
yeah.
just
I think dumbass in this context is a 1-word thing.
Is it a 1-word deal?
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
I think it's all one word.
Yeah, they were saying that he was drinking other people's drinks at the hotel. Like apparently some guy went to the bathroom and he came back and he saw Justin drinking his drink. He's like, bro, that's mine. You know, what are you doing? He was enjoying himself, that's for sure. We'll see. But he's going to vigorously defend himself.
Good for him. Yeah, that's great. I understand he's having trouble on the road, too, selling tickets to his concert. Really? Yeah, I think all the oxygen and money was sucked out of the room when Taylor Swift did her tour. Olivia Rodrigo did hers. Beyonce did hers. And now nobody's got any money left. That's why Jennifer Lopez had to cancel her tour.
She canceled her tour.
Completely. She just canceled. And Timberlake has been playing to less than sold out audiences too. So
okay, fine, but they still draw bigger crowds than Joe Biden ever could. That's for sure.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, yes. Oh heck yeah.
Wait, how big was the crowd at the AOC Jamal Bowman thing? Do we know? Do we have a head count? I never saw a shot of the crowd.
My daughter's birthday party yesterday had more people than her.
Wow, that was some embarrassing stuff, man.
But yeah, this has got clip 12, Joe, if you have it.
What do we got?
Okay. This is AOC with Jamal Bowman?
No, this is AOC.
This is her dancing.
This is her.
Okay.
So clip 12. What is going on here? Oh, no. The sitting Congresswoman. What now?
Let's go Bronx.
Oh, she's taking her hair down?
She can't hear him?
Yeah,
really?
The Bronx.
Is she deaf?
Can't hear him. What? Oh, she needs to chill. Oh. Okay.
Her ghetto-ness is coming out.
Ghetto-ness.
Very.
That's good.
Very
Ghetto-ness.
much.
Okay, what's this other one we got?
Is her with Jamal Bowman.
Okay. He's going to lose tomorrow, by the way.
Oh, yes, he is.
What's up, everybody? We are just a few days out till the election day, our primary election on Tuesday, June 25th. But the good news is that the polls are open right now, and we are here for our brother, Jamal Bowman. We want to turn out the vote. I don't care if you live in New York 16 and are turning out to vote for him. I don't care if you live outside New York 16.
You don't care if he doesn't
We are texting our friends. We are turning out. We are calling our friends in Tuckahoe, in White Plains, in New Rochelle, in Yonkers, and telling them to vote for Jamal Bowman.
No.
Ceasefire now, y'all. That's what we're doing. Ceasefire now. Let's get it popping. The polls are open today. The polls are open tomorrow. Make sure you get out
Ceasefire
and vote.
now?
Election day is Tuesday.
That's his pitch.
Let's go. We need record turnout all
My
across the district,
gosh.
especially in Yonkers, Mount Vernon, New Rochelle, Co-op City, and Edenwald. Let's get it popping. Let's change the world. It's the many versus the money. We're going to win.
Right.
Let's go, baby.
We're going to win. We're going to take on AIPAC, and we're going to kick some Wall Street ass. So let's go.
Stop the bombs.
Okay. Yeah. I'm fired up now. Stop the bombs.
Stop the bomb. Cease the fire now.
What a moron. Jeez.
Isn't this the guy that pulled the fire alarm?
That's the one.
That's the guy. Yep. Yeah. And he's been very anti-Israel that's his thing. That's his battle cry during this. I mean, it's critical now. You're down to the nitty-gritty. It's coming up here. You're way behind. Yeah. And that's your issue?
Yeah, hashtag stop the bombs. It's always a winning issue. Hashtag stop the
So
bombs.
tell Glenn to come in here. He's like lurking
What's up,
right
baby?
now.
We got a spot for you.
Like some kind of homeless guy that's just lost. Yeah, it's kind of sad, really.
What's up?
Hey, I thought you were in Idaho till September.
He couldn't wait to get back to 100
I was ready to
degrees.
sing "See You" in September. See you when the summer's through. But
I know, but no.
Here you are.
Yeah, I go back today. We
You do?
Some things to do this weekend.
Oh, okay.
So
what's going on?
Nothing.
Nothing.
How about you? I mean, other than the apparent leak from the Supreme Court.
Wait, what's that? Right now? It's happening?
The leak from the Supreme Court that happened maybe Thursday or Friday. They came out and said that you can't marry, a foreigner and bring them in.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of a chain migration thing.
Is this why Biden did his deal?
Before that came out, just before that
That's what
came
we were
out.
trying to figure out. Is like, what's the? Okay, are these things connect? Okay. Well, I didn't know there was a leak though.
How else did they get?
Yeah, I thought they just announced it.
Yeah,
they
we
didn't.
just thought
they didn't just announce the
just
ruling.
Crazy, ironic timing, Glenn.
Yeah, after
it came out.
Yeah.
All right, who's the leaker? Who is it? Because they know.
It's a Supreme Court justice.
You think?
Mm-hmm.
Sotomayor?
I
bet it is.
I don't
bet
know.
It is.
I know.
She's psycho.
Yeah.
I bet it's Sotomayor.
Why are we confident that it is a justice and not somebody making copies? For everybody.
Well, they did the whole investigation with everybody. Okay, like 90 or 100 people. They checked all the phone records, all of absolutely everything.
Are you talking about the Roe v. Wade leak?
Yes.
Okay.
Checked everything except the Supreme Court justices, and they didn't think they needed to check those guys.
Why would you?
Why would you?
Why would you?
Yeah. I mean, you've gone through everyone, and you're absolutely positively it did not come from anyone else in the building. Well.
Well, it couldn't
You
be.
got 9 that you didn't check.
Hold on. If it's the same person for Roe, that it can't be Ketanji Brown Jackson because she wasn't there 2 years ago.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Right.
So we're down to 8.
Yeah, you're down to
suspects.
8. I will tell you that I just did a podcast. I've had this history podcast coming out, all on the progressive expert. And I learned some stuff. I think it's episode number 5 coming out in a couple of weeks. Episode number 5 is on the Supreme Court. And this has all happened before. During the Wilson and FDR administration. And you will not believe how bad. Just a leak is nothing compared to what the progressives did before.
Oh, wow.
You had a progressive writing speeches for FDR, sending word and saying, hey, he should suggest this.
A justice is doing
From a Supreme Court justice.
Louis Brandeis.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
really?
Louis Brandeis. And the other one.
Wow.
Yeah, there was another one right before him.
That's like proven?
Proven. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah? Okay.
Absolutely.
Wow. Amazing.
So is it fair to say, and this isn't a roundabout way trying to get some hope here, is it fair to say that we've had this high level of corruption and effectively lawlessness in our midst for
we have.
many years?
It's happened before.
Yeah, it's happened before.
Which does give you some...
Yeah, right?
It happened...
We survived it before.
Right.
We'll survive it again.
It happened at the height of progressivism the last time. And here we are. And they will do anything. I mean, wait till you hear this podcast. The letters that they were writing back and forth and talking to each other. I mean, again, ends justify the means. They don't care. They don't care. When they are at the progressive top, the ends are all that matters.
It's also interesting to note that that was the time that they were also talking about packing the Supreme Court.
Yes.
Making 15 justices instead of 9. And they're doing it all over again.
Yep.
They're trying desperately to make that happen. Who was it last week that said we need 15? That was...
Rashida Tlaib.
Rashida Tlaib.
So hang on a second.
We need 15 Supreme Court justices.
I think this is all coming undone fast.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, I do. What we have to hope for is that we don't go into war.
Right.
Because that's they have. Did you see what happened with the Saudis this weekend?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, the 60 minutes?
The 60 minutes.
We have that. We haven't gotten to it yet.
Oh, you've got to get to it. That's first on my list tomorrow. Yeah, or today. The Saudis, the FBI had since 2001.
Yeah.
this video of this Saudi official going around Washington going, that building, that building, that building. Okay?
Let's do it.
And it shows that the Saudis were absolutely involved in 9/11 and helping coordinate it.
And it also shows
the
FBI
But the question,
sucks.
no. Why would that be released right now?
I don't know. I'm going to let you tell us.
Any guess? Oh, I have to listen to my show then today.
Okay.
Wow.
Maybe once we see the report, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Let's
play the 60 minutes.
Let's play that. Thanks, Cliff.
A voice on the video says in Arabic, "I am transmitting these scenes to you from the heart of the American capital, Washington." This video, unsealed in federal court this week and obtained by 60 Minutes, was recorded in the summer of 1999. The man behind the camera is Omar al-Bayoumi, who the FBI says was an operative of the Saudi intelligence service with close ties to two of the 9/11 hijackers.
Time is 6 p.m.
The video was filmed over several days. Bayoumi recorded entrances and exits of the Capitol, security posts, a model of the building, and nearby landmarks. In this portion of the video, Bayoumi points out the Washington Monument and says, "I will get over there and report to you in detail what is there." He also notes the airport is not far away.
What I see Bayoumi doing is going out and making a detailed video record of the Capitol from all its sides and then conducting that 360-degree panoramic view. GS-11.
Richard Lambert is a retired FBI agent who led the initial 9/11 investigation in San Diego, where Bayoumi and the two hijackers lived temporarily before the attacks. He's now a consultant on the case filed by the 9/11 families.
If you've ever flown into Washington, D.C., one of the first things you see on the horizon is the Washington Monument. So if you know where your other targets are in terms of the Washington Monument, it helps guide you to your intended target.
Federal investigators believe the hijackers on Flight 93, which crashed near Shanksville, Pennsylvania, had the U.S. Capitol as their likely target. The lawyers for the 9/11 families and former intelligence analysts we spoke to believe portions of the video show Bayoumi surveilling the Capitol as part of that plan. And in the video, he references a, quote, plan.
You said that in the plan. What plan? Who is he talking to?
What do you think he's talking about?
I think he's talking to the al-Qaeda planners who tasked him to take the pre-operational surveillance video of the intended target.
So this video is taken in late June and early July of 1999. What does that timing tell you?
Well, that means it was taken within 90 days of the time when senior al-Qaeda planners reached the decision that the Capitol would be a target of the 9/11 attacks.
That's when Osama bin Laden decided to approve Khalid Sheikh Mohammed's so-called planes operation. In the days after 9/11, British police discovered the video during a raid on Bayoumi's UK apartment. They also seized Bayoumi's handwritten address book that the lawyers for the 9/11 families say was filled with phone numbers of numerous senior Saudi officials who were in the government at the time. And when Bayoumi filmed the Washington video, he was often with two Saudi diplomats who the FBI says had ties to al-Qaeda, a finding the Saudi government disputes.
Well, it is another very large brick in a massive wall of evidence that at this point indicates the Saudi government was complicit in the 9/11 attacks.
Ken Williams is a retired FBI agent who led the 9/11 investigation in Phoenix, where one of the hijackers attended flight school. He's also a consultant on the case filed by the 9/11 families.
In terms of all the revelations that have come out as part of this 9/11 lawsuit, where does this video rank?
I think it ranks right at the top of the pile.
The government of Saudi Arabia says, nothing to see here, this is a tourist video. This is a guy out looking at the sights in Washington, D.C.
I would vehemently disagree with that. This is not a tourist video.
The British police are believed to have turned over the video to the FBI shortly after 9/11, which raises the question, Why, after more than 20 years, is
Right.
it just now surfacing?
Good
Did
question.
somebody really mess this up? This seems like a really big thing to just being made public.
If that was missed, then shame on us for missing it.
You didn't
if
miss
it. Wasn't
it.
missed, then I would have to ask the question, what was done with it?
Right. There you go. Now we're getting to the bottom of it. They've had this all along. They've had it all along. So that's a great question that Glenn asked a few minutes ago. Why now?
I hear it might be paid off in about 8 minutes.
Yeah. Wow.
On his show.
Jeez. Why now? Are they brewing? Are they stoking the fires of war?
Oh, okay.
With Saudi Arabia? I mean, the American people are going to be pissed off about this.
Yeah.
Are we going to shun Saudi oil now? Are we going to what could be the reason here?
Yeah, this might be a good time to revisit the 5 things I teach my kids. 1, never trust the government. Question it. Number 2, never assume the government has noble reasons for doing something. Number 3, figure out how much things really cost. Number 4, follow the money every time. Number 5, learn the Constitution and know where your rights come from. I think all 5 are going to be tested very soon.
Wow. Jeez. That's amazing. That's just really amazing. You know, between that and letting the Saudis leave on 9/11, 9/12, whenever that was, you remember that? Yeah. They were allowed, while everything else was shut down, Saudis were allowed to leave.
And then after that, George Bush goes over there and holds the hands with the king.
Right.
Ugh, gross.
Creepy and weird.
Yep.
Really disturbing at this point, especially. Really disturbing. Wow. 888-900-3393. Pat Unleashed on Twitter. And don't forget, this week is the big debate between Trump and Biden. And I don't know. It's going to be interesting. Yeah. Trump was even saying that they're going to juice him up and get him ready for this thing.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I've heard that Joe Biden absolutely plans to bring up the conviction for Donald Trump. Do it. Remind people how corrupt your system is.
Do it.
Sure.
Well, Trump's got to be prepared for that.
Of course.
He's got to be prepared for that. And everything else that Biden could possibly throw at him. And they're going full steam ahead, by the way. A lot of people thought Biden was going to drop out of it by now. Doesn't look like it. And here we are Monday. The debate is Thursday. Should be happening.
Falls on his face, he will.
Here's what Van Jones said on CNN about the debate.
Oh, it's not over. Hang on.
The entire world will be watching. If you are a carbon-based life form, you're going to be watching. If you've got a functioning brainstem, you're going to be watching. Because if Biden goes out there and messes up, it's game over. If he walks out there and a week later he's lower in the polls, it's panic in the party. But if he goes in there and he can handle himself against Donald Trump, a runaway train, a locomotive, a raging bull, then this guy deserves another shot to be president, because that is tough. You couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. If you can stand toe-to-toe with a runaway train like Donald Trump for an hour and a half, you are fit to be president, period, point blank. This is the whole presidency in a bottle in a week.
And Jim, I mean, same question. Big moment for Donald Trump, too. I mean, he's been raising expectations about his debate performance. And then what if he has a bad night, an off night, a senior moment?
He needs to have a good night. He has to have a good night on the policy issues. He needs to the extent he can, stay out of the gutter as much as he can. Because, look, the issues are on his side. He has the momentum now.
Right.
It's his race to lose at this point in many ways. And Van has just about admitted that here, that the momentum is in his favor. And he's going to have to do, President Biden is going to have to do something dramatic to convince people that he has the mental acuity to last 4 more years in that office and lead this country.
Yeah, and he doesn't. And we all know he doesn't. He doesn't have the mental acuity to last 4 more minutes in office. He's already gone. He's already gone.
He already gone.
And we're feeling strong. And we'll sing this victory song.
I like it.
Woo-hoo-hoo. Woo-hoo. You know the Eagles song?
Yeah, you need to write this one down.
All right. Okay.
Good. I like it.
It's weak, it's ineffective, it's bull.
I can't. I don't know. I'm a little nervous about it on Thursday because, if they juice him up like they did for the State of the Union and he makes it through this, that's what they're going to say. Oh, see, he deserves to be president. He went head-to-head, toe-to-toe with the train wreck. Okay, whatever. He made it for an hour and a half. The guy screws up every single day he melts down.
Yeah,
every day.
Expectations being so low.
Yeah, he doesn't have to do that much.
It's
really.
a little. I will admit that's a little concerning.
It is concerning. We should probably be lowering people's expectations a little bit. And just cautionary.
Okay.
It's like when you go into a Star Wars movie thinking this is going to be the best movie ever.
Yeah, just think Jar Jar.
And you just think Jar Jar.
If there's no Jar Jar,
or
man.
just think whiny Luke Skywalker for 2 hours.
All right.
Think that. And then it brings your expectations down a bit.
I see. Can you believe this? There's a convicted felon out there on the stage. So, obviously. You don't expect anything from Trump, so we got to bring down expectations for Trump.
Yeah.
So.
See what he did there?
That
See what
guy.
he did? Convicted felon.
Right?
In a presidential debate?
I can't even get my head around that.
Oh, man. How is he even on the same stage as the President of the United States?
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.